Now, let's chat.
And here we go, kicking off a brand new week.
Happy
it is Monday.
Welcome back, Chip.
Thank you very much.
You were missed. But yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be back. We got some good stuff going on.
Well, I think some of our hot topics were picked just for you.
Maybe
Being
so.
the music lover that you are.
I am indeed. Hot topic number one this morning, John Lennon and a very controversial album cover. Don't know if you heard about this or not, but Lennon owned a copy of the infamous Butcher cover version of Yesterday and Today, and this had the album art itself, pictures of dismembered dolls, along with various cuts of meat. But what it made it so valuable, it sold for almost $250,000 at a Beatles-themed auction this past week.
So the so-called, quote, Butcher cover, refers to the controversial shot that you mentioned. Now, this vinyl copy was autographed by Lennon, Paul McCartney, and Ringo Starr, and featured a back cover sketch drawn by Lennon. And it was the centerpiece for the auction, which happened in Liverpool, and had over 300 items. I'm sure this was obviously, the centerpiece.
Sure, I bet it was, or at least one of them. They had hundreds and hundreds of memorabilia items, as you mentioned, and this one album cover alone, third highest price ever paid for a vinyl record, anywhere in recorded history. Can you imagine paying that kind of money for a record?
So the previous record is along the same lines. The previous record for the highest price ever paid for a vinyl record was $790,000, bid for Ringo Starr's personal copy of the Beatles' White Album.
You gotta be kidding me.
Hand in hand.
That's just
hand in hand.
Stupid money.
Of course, Elvis Presley was also one of the highest.
Elvis,
I would have paid for that one.
Well, this was
I'm
an
a big
original
Elvis fan.
acetate copy, not just your basic vinyl record. That brought in the second highest price ever paid for a piece of vinyl. And kids, if you don't know, vinyl is what we used to listen to music on.
Hey, it's coming back now.
It is certainly.
It is coming back.
It
We have a
certainly
record
is.
player at home. We do.
It's a turntable. You see, above a certain price, you go from a record player into a turntable. Am I right? Play along. It'll make your day go faster. Jess and I have both gotten mails about us poking fun at folks from Florida. We're not really poking fun at them, but sometimes these things just write themselves. Now, one Florida man arrested after sitting on his sunroof. You think, not a big deal. But he was driving down the interstate, topping 100 miles per hour.
How is this physically possible? Number one. So an off-duty deputy saw a gentleman by the name of Leonard Olson, who's 70 years old. Let me throw that into this story. He's 70 years old. So he saw him driving 100 miles an hour while sitting on top of his vehicle. He said the car was in cruise control and has a giant computer so it can drive itself.
He also told the arresting officer he thought it would be a good way to praise God for a brief minute. And in the next breath, Olson said he wanted to turn himself in. And when they asked him why, his response was, "My wife treats me like a servant. She's the mistress, and I'm tired of this stuff." You can fill in. It was a 4-letter word. Tired of this stuff.
This is a whole new take on Jesus Take the Wheel.
Very well played, Jess. Very well played. Could you imagine? 100 miles an hour sitting on top of your sunroof, just heading down the road.
No, I may have, stuck my head out the sunroof at one point in my life, but I was not driving. So
that's probably also a good thing.
Yeah.
The only story improvement we could have made to that one if he had been naked, which he probably...
Or a reptile in the vehicle.
It probably crossed his mind. All right, we have a golf ball here. We have a golf club right here. You're probably wondering what these items have in common, aside from the obvious. I don't know if you saw any of this here on CBS, but it was the Byron Nelson Golf Classic this weekend.
Yeah, surprise winner.
Tyler Duncan, probably in the doghouse. Look at this poor shot. There's the shot. It lands on his wife.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
On his wife. This was on hole number 13 in the second round. His shot obviously went a little to the right of the green, and nailed his wife right on top.
So apparently
of the
he was
head.
looking at her and not the hole. Maybe she should stand at the hole next time.
I don't know. But believe it or not, this has happened before.
Oh gosh. Same person? Or?
Same person. They weren't married then, but when they started dating, he took his wife to the driving range and were knocking a few around, and that happened then before they got married, but now they are married. Have one more look at this video, if we could pull that up. This is incredible. And amazingly enough,
She was not injured.
yeah,
Let's
can you
throw that
imagine?
out there.
Have you ever been hit by a golf ball?
No.
I have, and it hurts. But I know
would
one
say
thing that'll
so.
fix it: jewelry.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet he's on the hook for
she's got a
some
nice little gift
jewelry.
later, but yeah.
Now, I could take this ball and this club out in the parking lot and stand 30 yards away, and he probably couldn't hit me.
No, I couldn't.
200
I
yards?
definitely couldn't.
Amazing. Anyway, that's a look at some of our
Yeah,
hot topic
all right.
items for this
You know,
Monday.
maybe she should watch from home next.
It'd probably be a little safer for her, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? No
or
doubt
wear a
about
hard
it.
hat.